And now live from the Snackboy studios in Laurel, Maryland, USA, it's snack time.
Oh, it is snack time yet again. It is that time. It is 15 minutes on 3 o'clock, and here we all are yet again to gather together in this time of snack. Today I've got a snack that, yes, it's funny, but at the same time it's very painful for Snackboy. You see, I, Terry, used to be a temp. Sure, a lot of us have been temps, you know, from job to job, location to location. Just when you kind of set down your tent stakes and you start one place, you're pretty much off for another. Well, this was a long-term temp assignment. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was in Bethesda, Maryland at the Marriott International Marriott headquarters. And there I was, fresh and young and idyllic and just ready to take on the Marriott temp office by storm. Well, it didn't last. That feeling of fresh youth and exuberance didn't last long, people. Because as we know, sometimes in life we have to put up with certain coworkers that poison our jobs, poison our lives, and we can't do anything but take it home with us. And that poison for me came in the vial of a 200-pound fellow temp named Michelle. Well, let's just say that Michelle and I started on the same day. Me, you know what I look like, Snackboy, just dressed up in my, dress casual Marriott wear, and Michelle always wore the same outfit. And that's okay, but let me describe it for you, people. It was a purple sweater, cotton and thick, with one of those necks that started right here and went down to about her boobs. I mean, those huge necks that you could fold over about 4 times. And a little country kind of vest, long brown hair, and the evil light gray eyes of a cat. You know, one of those fat family cats that just look at you like... Anyway, the first time I laid eyes on her, I didn't know Michelle was, evil. The Antichrist didn't even pop into my head. And that first day we were stuffed into a cube together. It was just Michelle and I temping together. And I thought, this is going to be great. I'm not going to have to temp alone. No one likes to always be alone. Maybe you've had a coworker that you've just been neck and neck with. It was a computer, my chair, her computer, and I just wanted to bond. Well, that first day I knew we wouldn't be bonding, because that first day she overheard my phone calls. That's right, I made a couple phone calls to friends, and she listened. Boop, 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 boop. And I'd be sitting there talking, and I'd hang up the phone, and I heard this voice behind me, this lispy, evil voice. How could you do that? I turned around, it was Michelle. And she looked at me, how could you do that? And she always folded her arms over her purple sweater. I said, do what, Michelle? And she said, how can you be so fake to your friends? I would never have a friend I'd be fake with like that. I said, what are you talking about? How can you tell her that you wanted to hang with her at the movies and then tell your other friend, Jose, that you didn't want to hang with her? That is so fake. Anyway, people, it got worse. It got much, much worse. One day, I would think it was about the first week, I was sitting there eating my yogurt, just enjoying it. It was good. It had the kind of yogurt that you add the little caramel crumbs into, and it just sweetens it up completely. And I was like, just in my own little world, when you are going to get so fat. You eat all the time. It was Michelle, people. Well, I turned around, and there she was eating curly fries and a whole bag of Utz barbecue potato chips. Listen to me, people, this is the truth. Every single day, she had the same meal. The curly fries, the barbecue Utz potato chips, a whole bag all to herself, and a grilled chicken sandwich smothered in extra Parmesan cheese. Then she would take ketchup and just smother the whole thing in ketchup, fries and potato chips. And she would sit there and just stuff them. How can you eat that yogurt? So gross. Anyway, I learned to ignore Hurricane Michelle. I am a friendly person, and I said, I'm not going to start a war, no. No, I'm going to ignore the evil and move on with my life. So that's what I did. You can't ignore Michelle. she started to realize I was ignoring her. And so she would do anything to draw me back into her web. She would sit there reading these horrible medieval novels. I mean, tacky. I like good medieval novels, but these were bad. And she would try to get my attention. I'd be sitting there typing, type, 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 type. And I'd hear her give one of those laughs behind me. She'd go, waiting for me to go, "What, Michelle? What's so funny in your novel?" But of course I'd ignore her. I'd just stay zip-lipped, And she'd go, "That's so funny. That is so funny." And I would just ignore her, la, la, la. "Let me read this to you." And she would start reading, and it would be like this. "Nordred, the sorcerer, looked at the young lad and said, 'Young lad, why dost thou cross my path with such irony?' And the lad looked saucily at the sorcerer and said, 'Oh, Algernon, I was just being giddy with your court. Obviously, it's been a long time since you lifted a boulder on those narrow shoulders.'" And it was just so